Hello everyone and welcome to Zeepkist Cup of the Day. For those of you who don't know how this works, we get 10 minutes to practice a map we have never seen before, after which there will be 2-minute elimination rounds where the slowest players get eliminated. This week, the mapper is Codewalt, and it's Shambly Cup of the Day, figures. We haven't had a Shambly Highway Cup of the Day yet. For those who may be unfamiliar with Codewalt lore, Codewalt has two styles of map, which I lovingly refer to as hill climb and hill descent. There are like 10 versions of Shambly Highway that he's made, and now there's a cup version. So corkscrew the beginning for sure. Oh, this first turn is quite challenging. This may be a steering limits time. Is this a 70 moment? Absolutely. Okay, I got back to where I was on my sight read. I don't like that corkscrew. And then you want to do this ramp. That's a rather challenging jump. Could probably land much cleaner than I did. Go high to conserve speed, maybe, is what you want to do. The bridge is out. Oh, once again, I landed earlier than you would like. Okay, fastest time so far for a couple seconds until Hydro took it and then MacCheesy took it. Interesting. So this first turn is just 70% steering. I don't know if that was any better. Mackie certainly was much faster with his line. Gonna underjump that again. How much speed conservation do I really want on that turnaround? Probably all of it, because there's still a decent amount of time to go on the map. This is definitely more challenging than the original editions of Shambly Highway, if you don't count the stupid cheeses that people have come up with over the years. So that was second still. It was not an amazing run. Okay, this time Mackie's gonna try no looping. Doesn't like it. I'm not gonna make it, but I do want to jump further than I have been so that I get to that downhill. YOLO's found the risky, as usual. I think you do have to corkscrew that. It's just not going to be clean if you're not doing a corkscrew. Tommy joining in on the risky trolling. Is there an alt path though? No, the finish is in the sky. So I was thinking you could low jump. Oh, this is that lands you onto a tree. It doesn't land you onto the track. And yeah, there's no way to get up to the finish. There's no other alternate finish. I wouldn't put it past Codewalt to have alternate paths though. Okay, 70's just a touch too much. Maybe I just need a wider setup. No, maybe it is just a touch too much. So 70% steering limit, but maybe release for just a tiny bit in the middle of the turn. Or just do 68 like that. Oh. Then how do I approach this ramp? Do I want to go wide? Do I even want to get the overjump? Because that feels like a very far jump. It's probably more speed conservation what I just did. Yep, up 1.8. This one you definitely want to land on that downhill like that. Oh. A little bit of slide out at the end. Aki's done a 46.9. There's a couple 47.1s also. This is, the lines are quite difficult. Just because you're on the verge of skating out at, like, every corner. That's actually so annoying. I wonder if I should stop using the steering limit, because 70% is actually, like, it's almost bad. At least for a controller player, because it's really hard to tell when I'm at the limit. So it is like a 68% turn. Actual keyboard advantage. In this turn, that's really wide to do, but it gives me a good setup for the ramp. Oh, I almost got to the downhill. That's probably the fastest if you jump all the way to the downhill. I'm still up in speed with that. I'll be up even more speed. With that turn. No arms up, and I still get to the downhill. At the end, final corner is difficult as well. I should pay attention to my steering there. That's a 0.1 though. Zoman was a 0.3. Wow, they're all getting so much faster. I mean, it makes sense. Like, I don't feel like these are the cleanest runs I've been getting. I'm just impressed that other people are getting it so clean already. So if I go more inside, it makes that really tough. That's a much smoother landing, but it's like extra turning. That's kind of the safe way of doing it, I think. It was skidding like right at 80. It might be another steering limit that doesn't quite work turn. No, I can't do it with the steering limits. I think I just have to go no steering limits. A minute left in the warm-up round. I'm actually in 7th, which is okay. It's just my runs are not very good. It's a lot more time in the track, which obviously Zoman has found a bunch of. And that's the risky way of doing that jump, which is, there's a very specific landing point that I think is super fast. That's probably what Zoman got that's making him so much faster. Oh, that turn is tough, though. I am afraid. There's a lot of resetting at just random turns on this track. Maybe a little bit of a wider entry. That's definitely more conservative, but we'll get through the turn that way. Same thing with turn 2, very wide entry. How high can I jump here? And still be on the track. Not that high. Zoman's not gonna give me any information. YOLO, how's the map looking after turn 1? It is a lot of just looking at turn 1. I would agree about that. cool new rendition of Chambly Highway. It's my opinion on it is not set yet. This could go well, this could go poorly. 52 players in the lobby, bottom 6 will get eliminated. I wonder if this is going to be a DNF heavy track, just because the turns are very tough. And you're required to do the turns well because there's a lot of jumping and other strange things happening. Let's do the safe low landing. It just messes you up for the kind of exit of that section. A little bit wider here so that I can turn into the final corner a bit better. Alright, good first run. Second place, actually. Zoman seems consistent, which is scary. Nice turn. When you get those yellow sparks, that's like, that is beautiful. Because you don't lose anything. You don't lose any speed when you have the yellow sparks. That was actually an okay landing. It's a little bit down speed, but I think the potential is there. Maki with a slightly more inside line than me. I should have more speed than him with the line I did. Except that my run is kind of not that good. It's hard to be consistent here. This is the jump I want to know, because like if you can make it all the way to the other side, which I think Zoman just did, there is probably more speed, but it's also a lot of speed to just land early. Tough, for sure. Yeah, a few DNFs. I'm not too surprised. This is a much tougher track than it appears. Maki wins though with a 46.2. $158 out of the tube. Zeepkist very inside line. I pass him right back though, or I don't think it matters how inside your setup is because the ceiling of the tunnel will do all the turning that you need. Doesn't matter where you are when you start that turn. Bit wide, it's hard to keep it. Quick Racer also struggling, running a bit wide on the final turn. 46.3, Quick Racer just barely ahead of Zoman. Nice first turn. So I mentioned the yellow sparks before, and then I got distracted, but the yellow sparks is like that's the perfect turning. That means you're right on the edge, but you aren't yet losing anything. Whereas once you start getting smoke, you are losing traction. You're oversteering, essentially. So one of the nice things about the way I'm doing it, which is no steering limits and on controller, is that I can kind of react to the yellow sparks in specifically turn 1, or what I'm going to call turn 1. I'm just going to call this turn 1, turn 2, 3 is the tunnel, and 4 is the final turn, even though there's a lot more turns between it. But for turn 1 and turn 2 specifically, I can kind of see when the sparks happen and know that I've hit the perfect steering angle. So that is a little bit nice. I like that better than hoping for the steering limit to work out when it clearly is not going to. Zoman with another world record, 46.0 in that round. Oh, a little bit wide. A little bit wide, but again, with those yellow sparks, I knew that I couldn't turn tighter, right? So that's actually a really convenient visual indicator for how tight I can take the rest of the turn. And I know that I don't get 2 runs now if I reset there, neither does this entire pack of cars in front of me. Much nicer, super tight turn. Maki no loop. He has actually figured out the no loop line. That was just a bad jump angle for me last time. That was much better. Should be pretty solid. Maki's line surprises me that it works as well as it does. And like I said, I have no second run here, so let's not play anything too risky. Still a very good run though. Personal best for me, and I left a little bit in the final corner because I was afraid. Or, yeah, if you're all the way on the inside, you start running quite wide. Okay, jump is not ideal, but I'm kind of just curious what the speeds are going to be. Not bad, and I'm up half a second because it's so much more to the inside. Ooh, wait a minute. Jump is actually fine. I'm really not down that much speed. Interesting. So even if you're like super bad on not looping that second tube, it's still good enough speed that the time save will pay off. Because you also get a super inside turn too. Interesting. I'm curious what the other top players are doing. I know Maki's not looping. Nice inside late apex. Oh, that was rough. That was way to the right also. So not nearly as good as my last run, but let's take a finish because I do want to have time for 2 runs. No need to play things risky at this stage. This is not good. Managed to get a decent landing with good air controls at least. Okay, no 46s yet. No one's had a good first run. Oh. It's not pretty, but it might still be quick. Oh, it is quick. Nice. Yeah, and it's practically PB speed. Like, I'm realistically not even down that much speed. Wow, I can't believe no loop is that much better. $46.4, alright. Looking good. Let me see if I can catch Zomin. It's just past the loop. I wonder if he's going for the big jump, though. He's not. He's just doing it normally now. That's nice. It's a very clean landing if you land early there, and if you're far enough on the left side, then the rollover is not too bad. Zomin also uses all of that tunnel, which I know Maki was not. He was a little bit more inside. Maybe we could try a more inside line in the tunnel. Oh, wow. I actually won a round in Cup of the Day, though. That happens fairly rarely. Is there booster RNG? Again? Surely not. How many competition maps have we had with booster RNG in the past 2 weeks? 140? I don't know. I think the second booster is... It's technically... It's not bad booster RNG. I think it's a 140 on the first booster, but then the second booster... Oh, I forgot about the loop thing. The second booster, I think, is a low force 142 to even out the speed. So it's close, Codewalt, but I would say not significant booster RNG. little bit wide. These turns are all so sharp. Like, you cannot turn much tighter than what I am doing. So when you are wide like that, you kind of have to just accept it. Definitely makes for an interesting driving experience. I like tracks like these, the smooth steer, just about lines tracks, except for this wacky part. And I'm not going to have time for another run because of the reset I had earlier in turn 1. Still a bunch of people without a time. We are now in the rounds of 4 eliminations. Or, yeah, if you're too early, you just can't make the second half of this turn. Does it get sharper? I don't think it gets sharper, but you do get faster because you're going downhill. I guess that's something to consider. 2 people without a time. Neither of them at... Oh, Savage Package coming to the finish. Oh, last second, I think he is going to make it. Oh, he doesn't get out anyway, though. Just ahead of Wheelie. Top 22. Quick Racer round, a couple of multiple-time Cup of the Day winners at the edge of the top 20. At least for that previous round. Might just be a consistency thing, because obviously you could have a little skid out, and maybe that was just the run they were forced to take. Or if you have a really bad time with that loop skip thing. Nice. I haven't hit the edge of that mountain yet, which is surprising. Arms up, because I jumped very far to the left, which means the good landing comes a little bit further. Another personal best, though. I'm curious what the force of that booster at the start is. Sorry, back to booster RNG. Because it almost feels like that second... Oh, that's terrible. It almost feels like the second booster is, like, super low, like a 0.1 force. I hope it is. Because booster RNG is... If you're at max speed on the booster, the amount of theoretical RNG is equal to half the force of the booster. So even on a 1 force booster, there's, like, a theoretical plus 0.5 of randomness. But if that's like a 0.1 booster, 0.1 force booster, then the RNG would be 0.05, which is practically not noticeable. Maybe if we end up with a tie at the end, it'll be something to talk about. But, yeah, that's actually... I'm curious about that booster force, because that's a really good way of preventing booster RNG. Less than 1 force. I like that. Sandals 45.9. Is that the first 45? It is. Sandals, former world record holder on the original Chambly Highway. Actually, do I have world record on Chambly Highway? I know, I think I got it at one point. Plus Micron Agix, weak knees, Matic D eliminated. YOLO in the YOLO position. Last one in. Oh, nice turn 1. Pretty good skip also. I think I'm probably up speed. Little bit to the right. I'm up time, I'm not up speed. Sandal's a little bit of a wider entry. Doesn't use as much of the tunnel as I do. I jumped way to the left. A little bit of skidding. Yeah, it's just... The turns, they don't let you take him any tighter. If you're too wide, you're just too wide. There's no saving it. Oh, oops. I was actually holding brake for the air controls, and then my tire tapped the edge of the tube, and I was just braking then. No! Let's watch Sandals, though. What are you doing, Sandals? Just very clean tube. Tube 2. Oh, man, very far to the left. That's probably just about a perfect landing. And then this line... oh, he does use a lot of the tunnel, actually. Zoman hits a 45 also. 45.983. Sandals on another fast run here. Skids out on the final turn, though. Stick with the snipe at the last second is gonna knock out Quick Racer. So, Quick Racer, one of them that was struggling a couple rounds ago. And he will get knocked out here. YOLO, Nareki with the DNF, Noxatu, and Quick Racer. 47.5 is the elimination time, but 47.2 is the requirement. I guess I'm in the 46s, so I'm probably okay. I also only 8th, actually, in the last round, although that wasn't my cleanest. That's probably too tight, yep. I guess at least you know you've messed up the corner a long time before before it shows. Nice. Wider entry, later apex, cleaner. Ooh, that felt really good. Could have been smoother still. Actually pushing the edge of speed on turn 2. Let's steer a little bit more in the tunnel, see what that does. Oh, I'm actually up speed. I might be getting some, like, micro sliding in the tunnel. That was wide. But late apex, at least. Because it's a tube, sometimes it helps to steer with the direction you're going. I call it micro sliding. Like, it's a little bit of a slide that doesn't actually show, but with tubes, I think that can be a thing sometimes. Less good. Let's just practice the beginning, I guess. Bunch of people without times. Wonder if there's a way to do that tube consistently. Uh-oh. I'm gonna hit the checkpoint. Zoman, Sandals, Faranine, Bry. Here comes Bry. Here comes Zoman, I believe. Sandals DNF, though, along with Faranine. So Sandals, who had set the record previously, gets knocked out now. A surprising DNF from Sandals. Like myself, doesn't DNF often. Hydro did set a 0.8 at some point. I don't know why I tend to miss whenever Hydro gets records. Okay, late apex, which was the result of a super wide entry. But that was up. Thank you, YOLO, for the video title ideas. Oh, might have tapped the grass on the... This is just awful. What is happening? Zoman in front of me is apparently also struggling. Zoman quite wide on entry. I guess you get that late apex though, which is nice. Ooh, Zoman gets no air, I think. It's really clean if that's the case. Don't hit... Ah. I have time. Barely. Okay, pretty solid. Very solid landing position. Ryo also does this, like, very left side, like, ignore setting up for this turn method. Bit of a wide entry. Bry eliminated. Tommy eliminated, sorry. That was an intense round, though. That shows what happens when you just have a couple of small mistakes on these, as YOLO put it, tough turns, tricky turns in this cup of the day. Hydro with a .85, didn't miss that world record. Very impressive. Might be a little too sharp, that's fine. Oh, that was not bad. It was a little bouncy. That's a bit far to the right. That's a bit extra bouncy. I'm down a lot of speed, but I'm kind of curious, like, because I know I don't get 2 runs at this point. Wonder if other people are going to be struggling a lot for speed. Unfortunately, the ending is not much better than the beginning. Well, it's not a safe time, but it is a time. Nice line for turn 1. I have time to reset still. I'll take it. Much better. Wow, PB pace. Let's turn a little bit more than I did last round in this tube. I think that might be needed. Solid. Still PB pace. Tap of arms up maybe to get to the other side of the hill. Hydro's passing me somehow, but is too fast. Can't make the last corner. Almost sub 40. Wow, 45.7 from Hydro. I am much faster than Maki, though. Here comes Stick, 47.1. Slowest of the times, but it is a time. And Mac Cheesy and Pandamain, the former Showdown teammates, both of them without a time. So actually getting any time was a good call on that first run. Getting a PB definitely feels very good. Competing with Maki feels very good. Being this far behind Hydro is a bit concerning. Hydro, I think, is very good at these smooth steer kind of maps also. Not bad, I'll take that. Nice, I'll take that. Oh, that was probably too much steering. That's about the same. It really surprises me that it seems like no matter how much I steer in the tunnel, I end up with the same speed coming out. I wonder if Hydro's doing time warp shenanigans also, because someone, Agix said early that it's a tangible finish ring, which is theoretically you can do death time warps. And Hydro is also someone that tends to go for those. Only half the pack getting runs with just 50 seconds left. Super inside, I like that. Pretty solid, I like that. A bit wide, but I saved it and I'll get a clean landing. Excellent. Or a little bouncy on the rollover. Maki without a time, Stick without a time. Maki gets a time. Round going to be eliminated. Not too much sliding, but kind of an awkward line. Small improvement at least. Only 5th place in that round. We have a snipe coming in. No, we do not. So Round and Stick, 7th and 8th, leaves Malio as the last non-Cup of the Day winner, because Minkus did get the win in the Troll Cup a couple weeks back. Zomin, Hydro, Maki, all very, very strong players. It's kind of looking like I am the 4th best player remaining, which is not a great sign. I have had an interesting trend recently. My 4th place curse hasn't been as strong. But But I did have a period of time where I had 3 5th place finishes in a row, and then I was looking at the stats before we started today, and I found out that I'm actually on a streak of 2 consecutive 17th place finishes. So I'm glad to have broken that curse. Oh, I'm going so wide in turn 1 now. And if I get a bad tube, it's just reset. It's alright. It's alright. I wish it was better. And still reset. That was about as clean of a landing as I'm going to get, though. Pretty solid rollover as well. PB pace, but a little bit down in speed. Oh, massive slides. And a bug. Okay. I feel a little robbed, not gonna lie. Zoman also without a time. He will have time to get a finish, though. So 6th place for me in this cup. A little disappointing. I slid out 3 separate times on this turn, just trying to make it around the corner. I guess if I slid out that many times, I was not going to beat a 46.7. I don't know. It might have been close, actually. It might have been close. The Unity bug at the end was definitely the killer there. Yeah, YOLO caught it. Report Unity. So Malio remains in with the 0.7, like I said, the last non-Cup of the Day winner. Zoman, the last to load in. Slightly different lines. Minkus, Malio with a little bit of a wider setup. Zoman does end up with a wider setup, but it's a more direct line to get there. Everyone else is so much cleaner through the second tube. Oh, Zoman must have not liked the trajectory he had, and I think it's just Minkus and Mackie. Minkus sets up a little bit more. Both of them steer about the same amount. Mackie definitely faster. Oh, Minkus, a little bit of a rough landing. Low jump to the finish, 46.7, not going to be safe. Was a 0.70 in the last round, slowest of the 5. Hydro sits a 45.6. Zoman and Malio without times. This will be their only runs. Malio runs a bit wide, struggling to make the final corner. It's just to the good right now. Depends if Minkus can get the snipe. 46.7. It will be the time that gets eliminated, but which 0.7 will it be? The difference, 0.03 between them, and it's going to be Minkus that gets knocked out. Hits the checkpoint ring after the turn 2 jump. Maki coming in for an improvement. Probably the only person still racing at this stage. That time from Hydro, though. That is something... Whoa! Okay! That time from Maki. That is something that's going to be tough to beat. Always leave it to Maki when someone sets an impressive world record. It's not over. It's just time for Maki to wake up. Minkus gets eliminated in 5th. Malio's still there, the last remaining non-Cup of the Day winner. Maki, Hydro, Zoman obviously with tons of Cup of the Day wins. Hydro going for number 10, as he currently has 9. Maki has 35, Zoman has 30. Nice round numbers. Not round number, round number is like 11 actually. Oh, a little, who is that? Zoman, a little bouncy. I don't recognize Zoman in the mattress car. It's not a car, I guess it's a mattress. Zoman was a little bouncy through there. Everyone else is just doing that tube section so much cleaner than I was able to. Very inside line. Yeah, and he gets it without skidding out too. Very good control from Maki, 46.2. Probably safe, but not the blistering times we've seen in the last round. Zoman still goes way high in the tunnel, which is crazy. Malio back at the beginning. Let's see what Hydro's doing. Nice low landing. Yeah, very nice rollover transition. Sets up a little bit more in the tunnel, a turn to the right. Not going as high. I think that's where Zoman's starting to lose time. Zoman started off the cup looking like the favorite, but really hasn't been contesting ever since the sub-46s have been hit. And I think that's the difference, is he's going for this theoretical speed conservation line as Malio's out. This theoretical speed conservation in the tunnel that just kind of doesn't pay off. Also hits the checkpoint ring, which isn't going to work either. But we do see Maki and Hydro both only going about this high on the tunnel, and then turning back down, which does just work out better. I think it might be that thing I was talking about earlier, the micro sliding, where it's just a little bit cleaner with the tires to turn a tiny bit in the tube. No sub-46s this time. Maki and Hydro about half a second slower than what they did in the previous round. Zoman has set a 0.8 actually, but it's been a struggle for him to contest the top two. These three, like I said, mini Cup of the Day wins between them. Any of them could be expected to win this nice line from Hydro at the beginning. Maki a little bit wider. Both of them do the tube super cleanly in a way that I was certainly not able to. Hydro a little bit more to the left side on the landing. I think more left is just better there. And then... oh, this time it's Maki that sets up a little bit more. So they're still doing different lines on every run, but you see neither of them go as high as Zoman for sure. Coming to the end, still neck and neck. Hydro a little bit ahead, but lands so far to the left that Maki's just going to pass him on the inside. Hydro with a tiny bit more speed coming to the finish, and it is Hydro by 1/10 of a second that leads after the first runs. Zoman, good landing, oh, sliding, hitting the wall. Should just reset because nothing matters here. 46.2, wow, he's only 2/10 behind actually with that off the last corner. More proof that I got eliminated because of the Unity bug and not because of the skidding out at the end. Zoman does need to improve though, and he's definitely got 2/10 or more in the last corner to find that improvement. Hydro and Maki both have time to improve their runs as well though, and they've both done 0.6s. Zoman, this is the line I was doing early, cutting it very far to the left, no setup at all for the turn, and then going super high in the tunnel. Maki in photo mode, I assume. That's his camera next to me as he's watching Hydro. Hydro skids out at the end into the wall. Zoman, does he have the pace to snipe? Oh, he makes an improvement, but it's not enough. The 46-0 going to get eliminated. Maki and Hydro both sub 46. Maki puts in another 0.6, proving that he can do it somewhat consistently, but which one of them can do it in the finals? No cuts, says Maki, referring to one of the other times he faced Hydro in the finals, and there was a cut on the map. No cuts, just skill now, between just Maki and Hydro. Their personal bests separated by thousandths of a second. Hydro with a nice, clean inside line. Yeah, wow, he was 4 thousandths of a second between their personal bests. Nice jump. Could have been further to the left. I think that might have been a little bouncy also, but it's pretty nitpicky. He is continuing with this run. Obviously, if he resets at this point, he doesn't get 2 runs anymore. Might be a good idea to just set a banker time. Maki also on a run though. I saw him crossing to the left of our screen. Hydro sets the first time. It is solid, 45.78. It's solid. Is it going to be fast enough? Maki with a very far to the left side landing. Probably going to lose a little bit of time. Does allow him to get a nice late apex for the final corner. He's going for the time warp. It's not going to work. 46.19. Maki does have time to improve. Hydro also on a second run. He has time to reset, but is sticking with it despite the sort of awkward tube exit that he got. Into the checkpoint ring though, so no more time for a reset now. It's all down to Maki. 45.78 is the target. Mackey's been able to set a 0.6. He did so in the previous round. He still has the world record of a 6.25. Similar landing to what Hydro got. I think his rollover was cleaner. Again, not perfect, but just nitpicky differences. Does not go nearly as high in the tunnel. Not sure if that helps him out or not. Much better landing further to the right side of the track now. Can he keep it on the track though? Skidding out a little bit, hits the wall on the outside, but is this run still fast enough? No, it's not. 45.9. Hydro will take the win. Win number 10 joins the double digits club. Congrats, Hydro. Thank you guys for watching. If you've stuck around all the way to the end, please hit that subscribe button and help me out on my goal to 1,000 subs. And if you want to see all these stats and results, I always post the link to my spreadsheet in the description below. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.